You got to make sure you stay focused. You can't look at that scoreboard and get that sigh of relief.
Mitchell from the outside, got it. And they're off the snide. They've got their first point.
One of the best stories of the year in an otherwise disappointing season for the Lakers. Donovan Mitchell pulls from downtown and got a fortuitous roll.
But the problem is when they're shifting, they're leaving that lane open, that sharp angle to the basket, and the AD's taking advantage of that.
Beautiful drive by Donovan, strong.
They get the switch. Reeves guarding Mitchell. Mitchell in his bag.
Oh,
he gave
cooking.
Reeves a little work. And that's the first lead of the game, Doris, for Utah.
They're number 2 in the league in differential. Like, that's a big deal. They've lost their last 6 road games. This one's a big one. We talked about it being big for the Lakers. I think it's also big for the Utah Jazz.
Okay. He says, and I quote, "We're playing like a team that's really trying to accomplish something big." And it certainly shows. It showed in Mitchell and continues to as he knocks down a deep three.
If you can't contain the ball and you force a rotation, it's just, you know, Russell's getting by and throwing the lob consistently, and they haven't been able to stop it.
And Whiteside with a little payback, get back at the other end. You got a problem?
Not at all.
And by those Fendi bags with coins. Here's Mitchell with the pull-up. And that's money. Donovan Mitchell lets out a little scream here.
As Kobe Bryant once said, everybody should have an opinion on you, good, bad, or indifferent. And
Amen.
I love what Donovan Mitchell does from a social justice perspective.
1:20 to go in this first half, and Donovan Mitchell has been hotter than fish grease. Knocks down another one. Mitchell with 26. Well, if you saw the replay of the injury, pretty easy to assume that he wouldn't be back for the rest of the night. Mitchell with the left hand finishes.
You know what I love about him is early in his career, the staff would challenge him to you know, shoot wrong-footed shots, quick-footed shots.
LeBron James brings it up court.
Did I make up a word? Is
Audacious?
No,
No, he's audacious.
okay.
5 games under 500, the 9th seed in the West. And Royce O'Neal shooting a career-high 40% from downtown.
Who was so far down the depth chart, he was not even going to be considered for a 2-way roster spot. And yet he's taken time out of the session to put his arm around the guy, give him some instruction. They're trying to help him with a read, and I'm thinking, my goodness gracious, the depth chart, he was not even going to be considered for a 2-way roster spot. And yet he's taken time out of the session to put his arm around the guy, give him some instruction. They're trying to help him with a read, and I'm thinking, my goodness gracious, he's not even going to be a part of your roster.
Mitchell. A series of step-through moves, and the bucket. He's at 32 and still counting.
14.6, you got to be ready.
Howard couldn't find the handle on the alley-oop. Mitchell with a great bounce pass, dime to O'Neal for the layup. First team all trash talk. Westbrook couldn't find Howard. They turned it over. Forrest on the move. They got a 3-on-2. Trent Forrest tried to take Horton Tucker's soul.
Boy, he wanted to bring his bench up off their feet. Austin Reeves, no, tipped by Russ, trying to keep it alive.
This is LeBron will as much as it is skill. Like, you need both, but he's just willing baskets right now.
Sure feels like it, Doris. Great point. And Whiteside with a quick jump hook. Westbrook trying to stick Mitchell out front. Mitchell with 33. Hit Monk with the hezzy and drills the mid-range jump shot.
Offense has slowed a little bit. The level of aggression on Donovan having an impact.
Mitchell spins into the paint and calmly, coolly finishes with the left hand. Reeves with the weak side cut. Back out to Monk with 10 on the shot clock. Monk touching the paint. And a little bit out of control. 2-possession game still. Here's Mitchell. Quick higger. Bogdanovich for 3. Got it! He's made some clutch buckets several times through his career with Utah.